When I was traveling through Laos, I went to this place called the Plain of Jars, which I absolutely fell in love with it because I love anything ancient. And it's these stone jars that are in clusters kind of throughout the landscape. And I took a ton of pictures. And you will notice when I'm doing my reading today that this love of anything ancient in these jars certainly comes through with my character, Raven. So I'll continue today with my reading. Laos, Raven is our narrator, and we are in the time period 1965 to 1975. I stop remembering and toss my finished butt to the ground and grind the last bit of life out of it with the toe of my boot. I will never understand what's with these jars. I kick at one of them, not out of defiance, but more out of curiosity, and my anger subsides. No one knows what they were used for. To this day, they remain one of the ancient mysteries of the world. I wouldn't admit it to anyone, but I'm fascinated by the stone jars that lay scattered across the plain in small clusters. They are believed to be about 2,000 years old, and there are hundreds of them. They're cylindrical in shape with hollowed out centers. They kind of remind me of cannons. Christ, the jars are impressive. They range in height anywhere from 3 to 16 feet high. They're about 1.5 to 8 feet in diameter, and they can weigh up to 29,000 pounds. Some of the jars stand proud, like they're listening to a national anthem at a baseball game. Some sit by trees with twisted trunks, and others lean at varying degrees, pulled to the earth's parched surface like a magnet. My favorite are the jars that lie on their sides as if to say, okay, I've had enough. When I first arrived at the plane, I thought, what the hell are these things? So I went over for a closer look. How could an ancient society with primitive tools create such things? And how the hell did they get here? Sometimes I whisper to them like a crazy person. What could you have been used for? The insides are bare, and according to a raven buddy, and how the Christ he knew this, I do not know, archaeologists believe the jars were part of ancient burial rituals or used as storage containers. The jars are in various states of decay and perfection. Some look like they were just finished being built. Some have the persistent roots of fig trees busting through their sides. Others are cracked, chipped, or wear the scars of bullet holes from our war. Christ, it's amazing any of these suckers are still around. I hope they're able to survive this goddamn war. If I had my camera, I'd take pictures from every angle. I'd kneel on the ground. I'd lie on the ground. I'd drape myself over the top of the jars and stick my head inside. I'd bend my body every which way, struggling to capture what's so special about these damn jars. In a perfect picture. Christ, I sound like a girl. I'm not a girl. I'm not a tourist. I'm a raven. I carry a gun, not a camera. So I'll never be able to share this ancient wonder with family and friends. Instead, I'll seal it inside me, a pleasant memory set amongst images of goddamn death and destruction. My mind drifts again, grasping for something other than death. Sorry, other Grasping for something other than death. I turn my attention back to the jars. I run my fingers over the rough surface. I touch every crack and hope it'll whisper its secrets to me. But the jars and their secrets belong to Laos. If this war ever ends, archaeologists will be able to come back to the plain and continue with their studies. I figure if anyone can unravel the mystery of these jars, archaeologists are smart. They'll do it. In the meantime, I like to believe the Laotian legend that claims giants used to inhabit the area. An ancient warrior king defeated an evil chieftain, and to celebrate his victory, the jars were created to brew and store large amounts of lao, which is a rice wine. I like to envision the expansive plain where I now stand, hosting one hell of a party. Male and female giants discuss the latest gossip and speculate over who should win the football match, while others recline, their fingers the size of tree logs laced together, resting on their massive bellies. With each breath, the logs ride their stomach waves, gently moving up and down. Off in the distance, but within reach of their parents' eyes, the children play, causing the earth to rumble beneath their feet. All the while, the earth's surface serves as a large table for jars filled with the giant's homemade brew. Man, I'd like to see that. I shift my back up against a jar, and I wish I could be absorbed into it. I fantasize about crawling inside it and hiding until it claims me. But I don't, for I've already been claimed. War is dangerous business. No one knows what we're doing here or the risks we're taking. I've done my best flying in Laos. I've risked my ass on numerous occasions, yet there are no thanks. None at all. Only the other ravens know what it's like, the brotherhood we share. The knowledge that regardless of how screwed up our government is, it's the right thing to help them out. We're doing the right thing. I reach into my pocket for another smoke and daydream about my plane. My plane is an extension of my body. I'll miss not being able to fly, to soar above the earth, sometimes so tauntingly close, swooping over treetops and squeezing through cracks in the karst. I wish I could fly again, just once. Flying without looking for targets, without the fear of being shot at, or having to watch a buddy's plane go down. My heart still freezes at the sight of a flaming aircraft plummeting downwards and shattering helplessly into an unforgiving earth. I remember what it was like. My plane's nose smashed into the side of a mountain. The rest of the plane followed, folding like an accordion. It was fast. Thank Christ I didn't feel a thing. But there was a brief moment prior to impact when I knew that this was it. If I had to choose the way I would die, it would have been as it was, gliding like a bird with no regrets. Now I'm left to watch my ravens and my Maub friends continue to battle. I'm nothing but useless as a hen's tit. But that's what we dead do. We watch from afar. After all these years, the landscape still plays host to the jars. Only today, they wait for a victory from the Vietnamese. I like to think the jars will soon be overflowing with Lao Lao, and we can all drink from them in peace. I reach for another smoke, and my fingers come across a penny trapped in the lining of my pocket. I stare at Lincoln's face and wonder what he would have done if he was the president during the secret war in Laos. For luck, I toss the penny into the jar, smiling at the thought of it being discovered. I only hope its new owner is more lucky than I was and is able to survive this bloody war. Christ. Tomorrow we're in a new country and with a new narrator. Thanks for listening.